This is Roderick Strong, and you're listening to WNS.
You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or check us out on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Stitcher, and iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast or WNS Podcast. Now being broadcast in over 45 different countries, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
Abear.
Say it right, asshole.
I'm Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 218 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
That's right. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at WNS Podcast. You can follow Daniel
That's right.
at WNS_Daniel. You can follow Tyler, because he's infringing on my gimmick as the only guy on this podcast with one name, and that's me. The originator.
The innovator.
The innovator. Follow Tyler at
Teenager.
Tyler_Aber and tell him that you are well aware he has two names.
He's not going to see it, though. Doesn't matter if you do or not.
I'll tell him about it. I'll look it
Yeah.
up and tell him about it.
There you go.
They're going to bug the shit out of me.
You gotta use the hashtag WNSAbear.
Hashtag bug the shit out of Tyler.
Yeah. So welcome to the show. Got a lot to talk about. Going to dive into your feedback raw.
Rog.
Going to be talking to Roderick Strong for Ring of Honor. So a big show. Also going to talk about the season finale. Unfortunately, not the series finale of Total Divas. Going to talk about some
whatever,
Ring of Honor, Lucha Underground, Q&A, and
It's
more.
gonna come
So
back.
how you guys doing?
You're going to watch it.
I will not be watching it.
What it is
We've
good.
discussed this
No.
several times.
Man, your fiance needs to just get you to watch it.
She's tried.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah?
I am.
Why are you so sleepy? You gotta wake up. Wake up. Wake up. There you go.
Okay, I'm up. Apparently.
Yeah. Doug, how you doing?
Uh,
Are you more awake than this guy?
yeah, but I'm 10 times the man that Aber.
What? Bullshit.
I'm just kidding.
Bear rake your ass.
Whoa.
Just said it again. Oh, wow.
Damn. Yeah. Interesting. So, yeah. Let's dive on into
Rake.
Yeah. No, it's too late. You can't come back from that. He's gonna.
Oh, well. I
you
just
heard
said
what
it
he's
one
gonna
time,
say, right?
a few episodes ago, and it sounds like something else, but I will not get into that. Okay.
Yeah. So we got lots to talk about.
Why are you so fucking tired? Just being a baby about shit or what?
No.
It's poking the bear.
My work schedule has changed.
He was so alert at
To
dinner,
what?
At
To
podcast
what?
family dinner.
What you
I
go
just
in
get-
earlier
I
now?
just- Yeah, for this week, I go in an hour earlier.
Just for this 1 week. So you're being a big baby about it. For this
I
1
am.
week. All
I
right.
am.
All right. I see where you're coming from. I can respect that. If you are a big enough person to come on this show and just be like, yes, I'm being a baby, but it's only because I'm being a baby, then I can respect that.
And it's only for a week. It's only for a week, right?
Yeah.
I feel you on that.
So this time next week will be a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Be
good
full
deal.
of energy. I'll be like, let's do this podcast, guys. Ha, ha.
There we go. Let's dive on into some feedback. First bit of feedback we have is from Subs. I'm
Sup?
still not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I sure hope I am.
Sup, man?
Saying Axelmania is this year's Bad News Barrett. I'm sold. Sorry. So, hey, you like who you like. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Any thoughts from you,
I mean, not everybody in the world can have flawless taste in pro wrestling like me, so
Doug? Yeah.
some people gotta like Axelmania.
Yeah, that's right.
Sub-Z's is our boy. He likes Axelmania.
He does.
Doesn't make him any less our boy. It just makes him our boy with
Mania.
questionable taste in pro wrestling.
Mania.
That's it.
Axelmania.
Still got love for Sub-Z's.
Yeah. Is it Sub-Z's or Subs or I don't know. Let us know. I mean, you've commented enough. Let us know how to properly say it. So, but thank you for the feedback. Next bit of feedback we have, and he does have a question later on in the show, so we'll readdress his name. So, more feedback we have. Ace McSpade saying, excellent episode. Enjoyed the Ken Shamrock interview and the part about taquitos.
Hey, man. Awesome.
I noticed a lot of the comments that we got this week were about taquitos.
Well, why is only one person? Why are you only reading one thing about taquitos and you're gonna be like, dude, you're not gonna believe this. So many people were talking about taquitos, and then you're like, this. Then you read this thing that one guy said about taquitos.
Well, I'm informing you. As of right now, 50% of our feedback has been about taquito talk.
Is there more?
Well, yeah.
50 because we had 2.
Well, where's the rest? Can you read the rest?
In the Q&A.
Can you like a surgeon cut them out and splice them in here?
I mean, I could. I suppose.
Do you think that would be in? Because if we're gonna talk taquitos, I'd rather just get it all at the same time. Like,
well, I mean, do you want to go ahead and like dive into the Q&A portion?
That seems like the opposite of everything we stand for, but I guess we could. That'd be weird.
All right.
Fuck it. We're doing Q&A first.
We'll do Q&A.
God damn.
Okay, but before we do that, we got one more bit of feedback, and it's from Chuck saying a lot of places have taquitos, including Whataburger and 7-Eleven.
Okay, first of all, I'm gonna say we live in Southeast Texas, and there are no 7-Elevens in our area.
Yeah, there's no.
They're all like quick stops now.
Sure.
I
haven't seen a 7-Eleven since I was like a child. And I'm fucking kind of old. What I will say about Whataburger, I was like, wait, what do you mean? Because I saw this comment, right? And so I had to do some research. I was like, Whataburger has taquitos? I'm not sure about that. So I didn't go buy one, look at the menu or anything, but I Googled Whataburger taquito, and what came up is what I would refer to in what I commonly hear referred to as a breakfast burrito. It is labeled as a taquito, but basically what it is a tortilla.
Is it a flour tortilla?
Flour tortilla with eggs and that's a breakfast burrito. That's a breakfast burrito.
Not a taquito.
That's a breakfast burrito.
That's a breakfast burrito.
Don't get the words confused.
Who is this talking to us right now?
Chuck.
Chuck, don't get it twisted, Chuck. Those are breakfast burritos. At least
you're being lied to, sir.
At least our part of the woods, those are breakfast burritos. Now, I may have it twisted. I may have it fucked up. I mean, maybe I need to do a little bit more in-depth research. I will visit Whataburger on my way home from work, and I will report back next week. But I don't believe.
I talked to the manager.
Continuing story of taquito talk here on.
We will follow up on this, and I do not believe that those are actually taquitos, even though it is referred to as taquitos on the internet. It's a picture of a breakfast burrito.
Interesting. All right. Well, with that being said, it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions, our answers. First question coming to us from Subs. I still don't know.
Sup.
We've spent all this time debating about it, saying subs, guys. So with Lesnar dropping the title to Reigns at Mania, sigh. What do you think Heyman will be left to do if Brock decides to leave? It would be awesome if Heyman gets added and fixes the commentary team. By the way, I really like how Wiz Khalifa does Roman's job better than him. At least he can memorize his lines with The Miz. And adding insult to injury, he was on weed. So, what do you think is next for Paul Heyman?
I don't think that's necessarily insult to injury. Oh, he's saying that. I guess he's saying he should be more.
He did a better promo.
Yeah.
While he was on some paraphernalia.
Was it confirmed that he was on weed?
He pretty much confirmed it on his Twitter.
Oh.
He was like, cutting a concert on live TV. Cool. It's even better when you do it on weed or something like that. And that was like right after Raw, right after he had died.
I mean, wouldn't he would just be more focused and more relaxed if he was high.
I guess so. I don't know. I've never done it. Oh.
I would say that's a performance-enhancing drug on his for that situation.
Okay.
Heyman, I don't see him on the commentary team.
Mm-hmm. If they're cutting his mic mid-promo, they don't want him to be on the mic the whole 3 hours.
Oh, that's work. That's work.
I know.
But I could see them. I mean, a lot of people are talking about him possibly managing Roman if Roman turns heel, and I could see that happening. I could see that even working out fairly well.
Yeah.
So I could see that. I don't see him on commentary.
No.
Just don't.
No, I think that would be a good fit for him to manage Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Especially if Lesnar leaves.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't see another person on the roster that could A, benefit from Heyman, and B, also needs him as much as Roman Reigns makes the most sense if he's going to manage someone.
Right. How about you, Tyler?
Oh, I agree. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, if that does happen, then he can help him out.
Okay. Well, there you go. Thanks for the question. Next question comes to us from Flaccid Peepee saying, hey, guys, good show. I have kind of a follow-up question about the Stardust and Goldust story. Do you think that they will pick it back up or just leave it without going to WrestleMania? Also, the rolled chicken tacos are taquitos. That's how I order them, and they don't really care.
All right, okay, look, Flaccid Peepee. Dude, that's just not how I roll. Like, I'm not the guy who's
Rolled
like
chicken taco.
That's just not how I roll. Like, I don't fucking call shit my own names off the menu, because who does that? Do you do that? Are you comfortable doing
Rebels.
that? All right.
Nope.
Would you do? I mean, what is your
wait.
stance on?
Well, if you went somewhere and they had battered fried hot dog, would you call it a battered fried hot dog, or would you say, hey, I want a corn dog?
How I will call it whatever it's listed on the menu.
Oh, okay.
That's my stance.
Interesting.
Don't be the eccentric asshole who's got even if it's
Now, I will agree with you to some extent, because like if you go to McDonald's, everything has Mick in front of it. The chili cheese dog at Sonic is a Coney. So
look, when I go to
that could also be
McDonald's,
related to Coney.
when I go to McDonald's, I say I order chicken McNuggets.
Yeah.
When I go somewhere else, I don't order chicken McNuggets. I call them whatever's on the menu.
Okay.
You know,
I was just making sure.
I just don't like being that guy who's like trying to point out that they're like they
you that
know.
guy, Tyler?
No.
You that guy?
I would like a taquito, please.
Here's the thing I want to. Do we have any more taquito talk? Because I had a larger point about taquitos that I was gonna bring it into. Who says? Does anybody else say anything about taquitos?
Bazooka Majin says, "Great show, guys. Love the taquito talk."
Okay, look.
Thanks, Bazooka.
Thanks, Bazooka. Do you guys know what taquito means?
No.
Tell us.
Because
Doug.
I probably should have put this research into it before.
Was this on Urban Dictionary?
No, this is on Wikipedia.
Does it mean rolled chicken taco? It does, doesn't it?
This is straight from Wiki, which is
Fairly reliable.
slightly more credible than Urban Dictionary. Slightly.
Yes. One step above.
A taquito, Spanish for small taco, rolled taco. Is a Mexican food dish, most often consisting of a small rolled up tortilla with some type of filling, beef, cheese, or chicken. So,
Not egg.
Yeah, no, well, that's a breakfast burrito. We've
breakfast
established
burrito.
that.
Yes. Well, I'm just clarifying.
But so I guess taquito means small taco and rolled taco, or it can mean both. Or flauta,
Flauta.
which is Spanish for like flute, which is another sort of rolled thing. But I guess taquito means fucking rolled taco. So basically, they're just, I guess, by calling it a rolled chicken taco, they're calling it.
They're giving you the English version of it.
Sure. Which is probably ignorance on my part, but still, they could have probably just called it a taquito and been fine.
Yeah.
My point stands, although I will admit to my ignorance on what a taquito actually means in Spanish.
Would you be the kind of person who would say, "Hey, can I get a taquito, the chicken rolled taco?"
What do you mean?
Say both?
No.
Okay. Just strictly what's on the menu.
Yeah, man.
Okay. I'm just clarifying.
It's fucking on the menu for a reason.
Okay. All right. So
I have a lot of respect for food industry workers, and I don't make their job any fucking harder than it has to be. I'm not the guy who needs to come up with my own fucking name for things on the menu. I don't want to be that guy. Why do you want to cause them extra, whatever?
I mean, if they're going to get my order wrong, they tend to get it wrong. So I might as well give them the wrong thing so it's justified.
They tend to get your order wrong.
Yeah.
That's you can't generalize a whole workforce of people. They tend to get your order wrong.
Yes.
Maybe you're fucking ordering it wrong. Maybe you're ordering it.
I've tried ordering correctly several times.
So if you're admitting to ordering it wrong, then how did...
when I order it the way it's supposed to be ordered, they still get it wrong. So
that to me,
I'll just live in my ignorance and order how the hell I want.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dino. I don't like how you're talking about people right now. It's putting me off a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't like that.
This taquito.
I'm a little skeezed out by the way you just said.
This taquito
here.
talk is driving the podcast apart.
Yeah, man. There's definitely a little bit of a fucking wedge. Tyler, you better.
We'll
pick
tell you
better pick a
if
side.
we're coming back next week or not.
Better pick a side.
We have to come back for our Mania picks, right?
I have to pick a side. Which side am I going to pick?
Is it?
He's hesitating. Whoever side he does go with, it's not going to matter because he's hesitating.
Listen. I really, 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 really would love for people to weigh in on our Facebook page and let us know who the asshole in this situation is, either myself or Daniel.
I'll be honest.
But to be honest with you, I've got a really good feeling that Daniel's the asshole in this situation.
To be honest, I'm the type of person, even if in my head, hey, that's the wrong name for it, I'm gonna call it whatever it says on the menu.
Fair enough.
But in my head, I do want to say the name in my head, but I'm not gonna do that.
Okay. Fair enough.
We're past that. That was a surface level issue. Now we're down in the mud and the muck of Daniel just assuming that people who work in the food service industry are gonna fuck his shit up.
Hey, you're on the same page with Noah.
Am I?
Yeah, he thinks that like a lot of people can fuck his shit up because he was like, "Oh, McDonald's, they always get my stuff wrong. I don't like going over there."
There's some real like classist like undertones of what you're saying right now, Daniel. I don't know if I like that. And please weigh in on our Facebook page.
Higher stature than.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pretty fucked, man. I'm gonna tell you, it's pretty fucked. What do you think of Mr. Big Time Radio DJ?
That's right.
What don't you?
I'm a local celebrity.
If there's people that listen to
food.
this show that works in the food industry, you can weigh in.
I'm a celebrity. Damn it, get my food order right.
I definitely want to see all my peeps in the food service industry fucking fillet Daniel's ass on the Facebook page and let him know what an asshole he's being. And also, if you don't work in the food service industry and you also are smart enough to realize he's being an asshole, go ahead and let him know as well.
I worked in retail. I know what it's like.
Yeah, I'm a Purple Heart in the food service industry. I've been there. I've done that. Those are my people.
Mm-hmm. Tell it like it is, Doug.
I'm a vet.
Yeah. How many tours?
Oh, more than one, motherfucker. I got 2 tours. I got two tours where I saw active duty, motherfucker. I was in the front line.
Where'd you tour at?
I was in the front line.
Where'd you tour at?
I did 2 tours of Subway, 2 lengthy tours of Subway. You know that Subway across the street from my apartment down on Knoll?
Important. I've been hearing they have been getting like terrible reviews.
I helped build that motherfucker when I was just.
You need to go in there and fix it because I've been hearing like it'll be like 6:30 and they're out of meat, like any meat. Like I've just been hearing all kinds of crazy stuff. They're closing like 2 hours early and all kinds of crazy stuff.
You've established that you're the asshole. I'm going to side with my servicemen and women on this one and say you probably got it twisted. But
I'm just going based off of what I've said, what I've seen on social media.
All right. Well, you probably deserved it. Whoever is getting fucked over probably deserves it. But yeah, man.
But they're commenting. I went to the Port Neches one and they were closed and it was like 7:30. So I went to the Nederland one and service was great.
Well, I worked at both of those.
Yeah.
I worked at all 3 in I worked at the one on Twin City. I worked at the one on Nederland Avenue, and I worked at the one on Knoll.
That's a lot of
under
subs.
the same area. Well, man, I'm a vet. I told you, I got service time. Food service industry. Those are my people. So watch your fucking mouth. Big time radio DJ, motherfucker.
So, anyways, that'll
Gonna fuck with your food.
That's right. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to move again. So,
Move again.
yeah. Next question we have. It was from Placid PP. What do you guys think about Stardust and Goldust? Do you think they'll pick back up without, or just leave it without going to WrestleMania?
I think they're done. I think it was clear they weren't happy. They either weren't happy with the match they had or the angle, which they have every right to be because that match sucked and the angle wasn't too hot either. I don't see them going
Even
back
Dusty
to it.
couldn't save that.
I don't see them going back to it after Mania. I mean, like you said, Dusty couldn't save it. They brought Dusty in. Well, Dusty could save that, but he's so handcuffed right now. Since that one time he went off script, the last time he was here, then they want him to like read like verbatim what they want. And Dusty doesn't. Dusty is not the man who reads your fucking promo. Yeah, he doesn't read your fucking promo you write for him. He's Dusty goddamn Rhodes.
You can't.
He says whatever the fuck he wants to
Kind
say.
of
And it's
badass.
awesome for it.
Very good stuff. Next question we have is from Bazooka Majin saying, if Brock were to have lost to Taker, where would he have gone to next?
I still say he would continue on the same path or whatever.
Yeah, it would have. I think it would have been not a whole lot of different. They just wouldn't have had the main claim of breaking the streak.
I don't see any sense in him losing to Taker. I didn't see the sense in Taker losing to him either, but I think it's just a match you don't book.
Yeah.
It's not it was a lose-lose situation in my opinion.
But which was the lesser of the two evils?
I don't think either makes a lot of sense. I don't know.
All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for the question. Final question we have is from Parker saying, hey, guys, finally went to my first wrestling show in Baltimore, Ring of Honor, and it was great. My question is, what is your first or favorite wrestling show that you went to live?
Is the Baltimore show the one where Joe wrestled Kyle O'Reilly in?
I do not know.
Perhaps.
Can't remember. I can't remember the tours, but yeah. Let us know. I know that they were Joe shows, so I can't remember if that's the show he wrestled Kyle O'Reilly or the show that he wrestled Michael Elgin on. But either way, it should have been good. I don't think it was this past weekend show. He wrestled like ACA. I don't know. He fucking wrestled a bunch of people who should have been good matchups.
He wrestled the whole roster.
Yeah, let us know if it was the Elgin match or the Elgin match was from this past week. I think he wrestled Elgin and ACH this past weekend. I think he wrestled. I'm almost positive he wrestled Kyle O'Reilly, but let us know if that's the show that you went to. I'm sort of mixed up in my head.
Yeah.
I think my first show that I am 100%. I might have went to one when I was younger, but I'm just spacing on it. I want to say the first like live show that I remember was a Raw during the Attitude Era. It's when the Corporation was around and Rock was a champ, and I think it was at the Montaigne Center.
I was at that Raw.
Yeah, me too.
And that was whenever they wanted to do the finger poke. Kane lays down, Rock retains the title, and Kane was resilient to go back. And currently, Road Dogg was the hardcore champion. He fought Gangrel. And that was when we found out that Mark Henry was dating a transvestite. What else was there?
Do you want to know my big takeaway, my big like memory from that show was just a sea of like fans like waiting around the back exit for wrestlers trying to come out, and Stone Cold comes out of some doors where I guess everyone had his back to him, and I just heard people start yelling Stone Cold or whatever, and by the time I turn around I see him, but he's just like fucking juking and spinning and like just trying not to fucking be bothered by anybody. He gets in a truck that was already like set up and running for him. He just fucking drives off, and people are like losing their shit, just trying to like go up and touch him and like, ask him for whatever the fuck they're gonna ask him for. I get it, man. You don't want to get lost in a sea of people. Like I get it, but you know.
My first show that was a good show because that was a taping and a live. They did two Raws at that show. Because I remember I was confused because Stone Cold came out to cut a promo. Michael Cole was in the ring, and they were like, "We're just 6 days away from the Royal Rumble," and I was sitting there going, and this was before like I understood what was going on as far as like the tapings,
right.
And so I was like, "Wait a minute, that's 2 weeks away. What's going on?" And then I went home and watched it, and I taped it. So I was like, "Oh, that's cool," but
I wonder if that's the first like prominent show our area has seen, because I gotta believe that
because
I mean I know that like I know that I hear like people that are older than me talk about like wrestling down at the Civic Center and stuff like that, but I'm talking about like that era of WWE.
I went to a Monday Night Raw when I was in 3rd grade in Beaumont at the Montaigne Center, back when they still used the the lettering for Raw, R-A-W.
Throw out a year. Give me a
I was in 3rd grade.
timestamp here.
This would be 90, 91, 92, 93. I want to say 93, maybe 94. That was the first show that I went to because I was in 3rd grade. I had gone to get my eyes dilated for glasses, so my eyes were insanely sensitive. The doctor was like, "Don't look at any bright lights or anything while you're doing this." So I had to buy one of those toy Bret Hart glasses that just had like the elastic rubber band in the back,
Right.
so that whenever the pyro and stuff went off, I wasn't blinded by it. And then we ran down whenever Shawn Michaels came out, because that was whenever he would like get up against the rails and all the fans would pat him on the back. So I got to pat him on the back, and one of the people that I was with at the time was like pulling his hair and wouldn't let it go.
Oh,
so
wow.
So he was sitting there like struggling to get out, and he finally
Damn.
got back in the ring.
Yeah.
And I remember Stone Cold was there. I want to say Kane, but I don't think it was.
Was that a girl pulling his hair?
No. I mean, like a lot of people were grabbing, so
They're just trying to. Were they like, haha, I got this dude's hair? Or like, were they just trying to touch the dude?
just trying to touch him.
My first day of middle, like I went to. This is completely unrelated, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. My first day of 6th grade, like my town's middle school and high school were combined, like 6th through 12th, which is insane.
that's
It's
big.
insane to have 6th graders with 12th graders. And my first day of middle school in the 6th grade, I saw a fight during lunch. 2 girls got in this fight.
Nice.
Or one girl, the reason I thought of this because you're talking about pulling the hair. This girl ripped another girl's braid off her fucking scalp. Ripped a braid off her fucking scalp.
Ouch.
I saw it with my eyes. I saw a dude pick it up and be like, "Ooh, this."
Oh man.
How do you rip a fucking braid, like a lock of hair off someone's head?
You just grab and yank.
That's fucking insane, dude.
You
That's
yank
some
really
weak-ass
hard,
hair.
apparently.
Yeah.
There had to have been blood from that. Tyler, what was your first show?
Also saw a guy. I saw a guy threaten to fight someone's parent, like in the street after school that same day.
Wow.
Wow. What was the question? Like
First
your
wrestling
first one,
show.
or like
First and favorite.
first and favorite?
Yeah.
Be honest with you, I can't remember what my first one was.
Mm-hmm.
Favorites.
WCW.
Well, I mean, I went to a WCW house show with Doug,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what my first one was. But like I gotta say, like favorite. I don't have a favorite. I have favorites.
Mm-hmm. Give me
like
a top
the
3.
Top 3. Wow.
Or top 2. Or top
I'm
1.
just gonna give you a few top of
Okay.
the head.
In no
TN
particular order.
Oh yeah, TNA show that we went to was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then like all of like the indie shows I went to at all the 2 WrestleManias I went to were fun. So
Cool.
yeah.
Probably my favorite top 1, WrestleMania 30, because it was my first WrestleMania, and we got to see Daniel Bryan win.
Mm-hmm.
2 would probably be all the independent wrestling we went to that weekend, because 1, we were really close to all the action,
Full of action.
and the wrestling was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably my favorites.
I'm gonna count WrestleMania 25 weekend as one entire, like one
Okay.
humongous wrestling show. We saw
2
we
ROHs.
went to the Ring of Honor shows, the Taking Our Prisoners 2009 and Supercard of Honor 4, and WrestleMania. We got any other shows that weekend?
Nope.
Oh yeah, I'm counting that as one humongous show.
So the
like
thing
one
we
big
went to
weekend.
was not a show. It was Booker T's Legends of Wrestling. That wasn't a show though.
Sure.
Yeah. So mine would be WrestleMania 30, and then the WrestleMania 30 weekend independent wrestling shows that we went to, and Ring of Honor.
There's a lot.
Yeah, we got Supercard of Honor 8. We got the Ring of Honor taping. We got Evolve, Kaiju, Big Battle, Dragon Gate.
Not Supercard of Honor 4. We were Supercard of what's Supercard of Honor?
Would be 3.
No.
It was 5 years,
It was definitely wasn't 3.
30 and 25.
So, yeah, okay, it would have to be 4 then. I want to say. I'm going to Google that right now.
Okay. So there you go.
I still need to get that DVD, by the way.
Yeah, you do. Pick it up. So thank you all for the questions. Certainly appreciate it. I'm sure we'll dive on into all
It
the...
was Supercard Wonder 4. I knew I was
Cool. So there you go. Let's dive on into Raw. One Raw to go before WrestleMania. This one is the second.
Wait, I was going to talk about...
Oh, yeah, your favorite.
Well, I was going to talk about because we met a ton of people that weekend, but I met Daniel Bryan that like after the show that Supercard of Honor 4, he wrestled Alex Kozlov, that former developmental, former New Japan guy, half of Forever Hooligans. Daniel Bryan wrestled Alex Kozlov that night, and we met. They had this like little meet and greet after the show at this bar where we met like tons of cool stuff. We met Generico that night, and he spoke Spanish the whole time to us, like shitty broken Spanish.
Yeah.
The whole time it was fucking awesome. And I met Brian. I was like, I sort of geeked out on him, and he was like the nicest guy like about it. I was like, hey, you're awesome. You're my favorite wrestler. And he was like, he was like so genuine. He was like, oh, that's awesome. He's like, what was your favorite match tonight? And even though I even said, I was like, you are my favorite wrestler, but my favorite match was Kenta versus Davey Richards, because Kenta and Davey Richards had this pretty good match that night. And I was like, he was like, yeah, that was awesome, wasn't it? It was like, he didn't take a step back, like, because I felt weird.
What? You're no fan of mine.
Yeah, he's like, oh, wait till tomorrow night. I think the main event of the night after was I think it was Tyler Black and Nakajima versus Aries and Kenta, or Flip. It was either that or flipped. Like
I think it was
the
flipped.
Japanese guys might have been on the opposite teams, but it was like it was a tag with Tyler Black, Austin Aries, Kenta, and Katsuhiko Nakajima. And he was like, dude, wait till the fucking. He's like, wait till the main event tomorrow night. It's gonna be fucking sick. Have you seen Nakajima? This dude fucking kicks like hard. I mean, he wasn't saying fucking and stuff, but he was like super nice about it. And it was like about as perfect as you could ask for a guy to be like cool with you. And I don't know. That was pretty sweet.
It was just a cool night hanging with all those guys, just because it was a bar, it was a hole in the wall bar, and like the most
Claudio
people
was there?
Yeah, all the people were there were pretty much the local people at the bar. There was just a few fans, so it was that intimate, setting. Not like romantic.
Also, Roderick Strong, who was going to be on the show in a little bit, wrestled Nakajima that night too for Supercard of Honor.
Oh yeah, he actually, when we were taking a picture with El Generico, he put the straw in front of our camera.
Nice. So, but yeah, so if you have a chance to go to WrestleMania and all that, definitely make sure you do that if it's within your grasp of either affording travel or if it's just near where you live. Definitely make sure you go out there and check out some of the indie shows that they run around there as well. Really cool stuff. We got to meet a lot of people whenever we went in New Orleans.
We met a lot of people that weekend too. It's just now coming back to me how awkwardly I talked to Daniel Bryan that time. I was like, "You're awesome. You're my favorite wrestler."
You're my favorite.
I probably seemed like such a fucking weirdo, but he was super nice about it.
Yeah. So good stuff. So we got to see Raw. We kick things off with the Authority promo. Everyone talking about Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes out saying, "I'm going to hurt you," and at
Punch you
WrestleMania, and
in the skull.
That's right. And Rollins is basically like, well, why don't you fight me tonight? Ha ha ha. So, I mean, that sets it up. I mean, it's a traditional 15-minute promo to help kill time because, I mean, my goodness, they've got 3 hours to fill every Monday, and, it's become sort of routine now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a time killer. That's all that it is. So the first matchup we got to see, someone commented on this, and I went back and checked, and there were actually only 4 official matches in this 3-hour Raw. I mean, they had Big Show and Eric Rowan, but that match never got officially started. The Mark Henry Battle Royal thing, that didn't officially happen. So there were only technically 4 matches in this entire 3-hour Raw, which is kind of bad. Yeah. So the first matchup we got to see Nikki Bella going up against AJ Lee with Paige and Brie in their respective corners. I'm glad that they got the time that they did. They got quite a bit of time to showcase and I don't think they disappointed. What did you think, Doug?
It was not out of this world, but it was
No.
solid, and they tried hard. They worked
Yeah.
hard. I didn't have any real problems with this.
Yeah.
Question.
Mhm.
When was the last time Brie wrestled?
She wrestled AJ Lee, I think, on SmackDown.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, fairly recently, I want to say, or it was Paige, one of the two. But yeah, I mean, the match didn't go 3 minutes. The match didn't end in a roll up, so I was pretty pleased by that.
So pleased that you would want to watch Total Divas.
Nope, but Nikki Bella does end up getting the victory after a brawl ensues on the outside between Brie and Paige. Nikki Bella.
Why were you
picks up
coming
the-
down so hard on the Bellas on Twitter? If you're okay with this, because I was checking in I was checking in on you on Twitter, where you just tried to appeal to people because you said something about like give these women a break permanently, like don't bring them back or whatever.
Yeah.
So why were you coming down on the Bellas so hard if you're okay with this?
I'm okay with the women in the WWE getting a chance to have a match, but I'm just not a fan of the Bellas anymore. I was just not digging it.
You
I
would
don't
be
know,
a
it's
fan
just-
of them if you watched Total Divas.
I'm liking Nikki's progression. She has definitely improved in the ring, but anytime they're told to talk, I'm not interested at all.
Sure, but oh no, okay, yeah, no, I liked the whole the inlay promo from the beginning where they were like, there was the Bellas and they were like, give Divas a chance, oh, give me a break or whatever. Like, I liked them healing off of the give Divas a chance thing because they were like, oh, give me a break with that shit or whatever.
Yeah, give them a
I
break.
like them playing that for heat. I thought that was smart.
Yeah. But Nikki ends up getting the victory, so probably next week we'll see Paige against Brie or something like that. So who knows? But after that, we got to see Ryback going up against The Miz. And I don't know, one of the problems I have with SmackDown, well, there are actually a couple problems. One, the spoilers, because they're not doing it live, so everyone finds out the results before the show even airs. So that's a reason not to watch.
But there's one less of a day to wait for spoilers.
Yeah, that's true. The other is they've sort of just lost focus on SmackDown. So you see a lot of repeat matches. They'll either repeat a match from Raw, or they'll have a match on SmackDown that they show on Raw the very next week. So
True.
there's not a whole lot of storyline progression on SmackDown to cause people to want to tune in. It's sort of just like filler TV.
That's fair. I don't think that there's been any storyline progression for a while. The thing you say about SmackDown is they generally get a little more time for their matches.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking strictly for in-ring product, matches are probably going to get a little bit more time on SmackDown.
And yet they do that in 2 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you. I mean, you're making valid points.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm just offering more comments.
Good stuff.
I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm adding additional comments.
Yeah. So, but Ryback ends up defeating The Miz, and The Miz then attacks Mizdow after the matchup just because he lost and wasn't too thrilled about it. So,
Well, he laid him out, huh?
yeah, gave him the
Skull-crushing
skull-crushing finale.
finale.
So, whatever. I don't know. I posed this question on Twitter during Raw, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts.
Oh, sorry. I only remembered your hot Bellas takes. Your hot takes on the Bellas.
Oh, okay. Just that one tweet.
I was like, I'm gonna give it to him for this one.
So, do you think that they're going to have?
Opinions expressed on the WNS podcast Twitter reflective only of one Daniel Harris.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take credit for that.
All right.
But do you guys think that they're going to turn Mizdow on Miz, where he finally attacks Miz? Do you think they might do it before WrestleMania, during WrestleMania, or after WrestleMania?
I think they want them pop at Mania. I don't think they want all the fans to be like,
oh,
yeah, if it's gonna be like a Mizdow crowd ever, it's gonna be at Mania.
or the
Yeah,
night
it's
after.
like because they're both in the Memorial.
Mhm.
So
Mizdow, eliminates Miz.
Because he said.
Why would you throw away that reaction 2 weeks before Raw? Like, give it to him on Mania. Let that crowd that want to adore him at WrestleMania and get that big Mania pop for him.
Yeah. So, or maybe they'll hold off onto it until the Raw after because the crowd is always rowdy that night.
Either or.
Yeah.
I think it's a Mania moment though. Like, don't throw that away on some bullshit Raw that you didn't give any fucking thought or effort to.
The stupid, oh no, he's gonna help me win if he eliminates me or whatever. He's fired. Oh no, he's fired. Okay.
Yeah, you're fired as being my personal
Oh
assistant.
no.
So,
Shit.
but after that, we got to see the contract signing between Rusev and Cena. One of the gripes that I had about this was that, they announced the match was going to take place. They threw up the graphics, Cena versus Rusev at WrestleMania, and now they're saying, "Oh, well, we haven't even signed the contract yet, so this match might not happen." And then Lana wasn't there, which the fans were chanting, "We want Lana." This lawyer guy with it was not a Russian accent. Let's just
I don't know what it was.
Someone said Chicago, and it reminded me of the Saturday Night Live skit, or "Oh yeah, the Bears." My client Rusev didn't want to wrestle you at WrestleMania.
Well,
Yeah, I got that.
now that you're doing it, I could see that. But if you just said Chicago, I wouldn't picture it like that. It's like a Chicago. It's like someone.
It's a parody of a Chicago accent.
It's like if someone with a thick Chicago accent tried to do a Russian accent or something.
He's working on his next heart attack.
But no, my thing though with that whole stuff was I know it was bad, but
Bears.
JBL was getting off focus, was just going against that guy and stuff. I'm like, well, he's not the focus.
This is supposed to be sort of a big moment. You're trying to sell a main event.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, the guy's accent is off or whatever, but you don't need to bring focus to it.
You're supposed to be selling the match.
Well, I read that he was specifically told to shit on that guy because he was so bad. But my question is, how did he get to Live Raw without being able to pull off the accent? Is my question. Did he go out there nervous and then fucked up and then couldn't pull it through, or did they not even bother to or they just assumed that he could do it and they didn't even ask him to do it for them? I understand, I have less of a problem with JBL shitting on this guy. This guy's never going to be back, so it doesn't matter. It matters less to me that JBL shat on this one guy who's never coming back than a guy who's there every week or a guy who eventually they're going to ask me to care about again. There's a degree of difference there. I acknowledge that. But, how did this guy get there without being able to do it? You know what I mean? Did they not test him? Did he just go out there and get nervous and then couldn't pull it off?
It was just nerves.
I don't know. I find that whole thing weird. I don't know.
It was so strange.
Also, we're not shitting on Chicago and accents.
No, not at all.
We're from Southeast Texas, y'all.
Howdy, y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all come down here to Texas and drill some oil and ride around on a horse.
Me and Pa are going down to the creek and we're going to fish.
That's right. That's right, A-Bird.
They're not putting this. That's how these two assholes talk. They're not even putting.
Yeah, it's all up front. For 218 episodes, we've gotten away with it, but now it's finally out. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that. You've ruined our careers.
Mystique is gone.
Yeah. So, but the thing that got me was that this lawyer guy was trying to say that Rusev was not going to agree to this match, did not agree to this match, so therefore there will be no match, and yet Rusev's name is on the contract now.
But at the end, something kind of I mean, I think it's going to go ahead, with all this shit that happened after he flipped the table and all that stuff, and John Cena is like, I got this. What did he say?
I got your ass.
Yeah, I got your ass, and he held up the contract, but that's actually a contract, not his ass. But
that is correct.
But with this being this close to Mania, I mean, what? You have one more show, right? No.
Correct. The go-home show next week.
So what the hell? So they have to do it next week then.
Do what?
Hey, it's official.
It is official. He signed the contract.
No, Rusev.
He did.
I thought he didn't.
He said, I didn't agree to it. It was Lana, but I will agree to fight you if you allow me to have this statement or whatever. And then he had a statement where he talked shit on US.
Oh, okay. I guess.
And then he was like, then he signed it and then flipped. He flipped the table and showed ass.
Flip. And he was like, "Fuck you." That's what he said.
That's right. So tables were flipped, saving the segment. Next up, we got to see Tyson Kidd and Cesaro going up against Big E
Saving
and
the segment,
Kofi.
I thought Rusev was pretty fucking good in this.
Yeah, he did fine.
Granted, the actor guy, everyone was bewildered by the fucking actor guy, and then JBL shitting on the actor guy like takes away from the segment. But Rusev is coming a long way as a character.
Mm-hmm.
He's progressing as a wrestler and as a character. I did not originally see Rusev as a guy who was going to be a big time contributor for years to come. I thought he was a guy they were building up to get one payoff of making a guy off of him, but I can see him as a bigger contributor to the company now. So he's come a long way.
Yeah, he's definitely grown. So, and his matches have improved. So we'll have to see where it takes him. But
he's a pretty decent promo. I mean,
yeah. So we'll have to see what happens. But the next matchup, we got to see Tyson Kidd and Cesaro going up against Big E and Kofi. This was kind of a short matchup, but Tyson and Cesaro ended up getting the win. What did you think about the before match promo where they did the clapping with a fact at the end? As sort of a parody of New Day.
I'm blanking on it. Remind me of what it said.
Fact, or something like that.
I don't remember.
That's not the New Day clap, though. The New Day clap is like...
Well, yeah, but they were trying to make fun of them.
Oh, okay.
They were like, we can do that too.
Oh.
And we can make it better. Fact.
Oh. Like, they're like, our clap is faster?
Faster and better.
We clap faster and more time.
We got the clap faster.
Everyone loves the clap. So, so Tyson and Cesaro end up getting the victory. Los Matadores decide to
Did you get the sense
attack.
that they were going to go heel, or this was just their way of inserting themselves into the match?
At first, I felt like it was a heel thing, but then afterwards, all the stuff that happened, they're just inserting themselves in the match because they turned on New Day, and then they went,
they're trying to establish themselves as a threat.
Then they went against Tyson and Cesaro. So
yeah,
I feel like,
and the fact
it was
that
a weird
Torito
way
had to take the move from Torito is kind of sad.
But they're inserting themselves.
They've been jobbers pretty much since they got here, since they made their debut. I mean, they won a couple matches, but then after that, they sort of faded out, and you'd only see them to get beat down or toss them in as extra bodies in a rumble of some kind. But, now they're trying to say, okay, well, we've got 2 weeks to WrestleMania to make these guys look credible. So have them go out there and beat up the champs and the opposing teams. So, I don't know. But in other tag team news, it has been reported at the beginning of the week, Jey Uso reported injured over the last week. So I don't know what this is going to do for the Usos as far as WrestleMania, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, it sucks for them this close to Mania if it's serious. Is it something they expect to keep him out, or is it something that he could tape up and go? There
wasn't an official statement as far as what kind of injury or for how long. I think they said it was a shoulder injury.
I'm sure they're bummed about it. I don't know, I suppose it's possible, especially with a 4-team tag match, they could hide him in the corner and he could just be like a hot tag for his brother for like a minute or so. So if it's not serious enough that he's willing to just like tape it up and give it like a few minutes.
He'll do the dive and hopefully turn with his non-injured shoulder. And
I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yep.
I mean, if anything, he can be hit in the multi-man tag match if they needed to. So.
Yeah. So, after that, we got to see a video package featuring Brock Lesnar, and they've done these in the past and they've been phenomenal, and I think this was no different. I thought it was a really solid promo, really solid video for Brock Lesnar. One thing that I did like that they did on the package was discuss his free agency. They've actually been doing this frequently here the past few weeks. They've been talking about what's going to happen if Seth Rollins tries to cash in on Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, which is something that a lot of people have been hinting at for a number of weeks, maybe in a few months now. And also what's going to happen once Brock Lesnar's contract is up. Now they've made it no secret that after WrestleMania he's a free agent. What's going to happen? We don't know. So I thought it was an excellent video package. What do you guys think?
I don't really remember.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I guess people sort of complain that when Lesnar is on the show, he's not on the show often, and when he is, it's him standing in the ring while Heyman talks.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about Lesnar is when he has these vignettes, these videos that he's able to get multiple takes, he comes off so fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Why not use that to your advantage? Let him speak in a controlled environment where he's going to look awesome all the fucking
Make him
time.
look his best.
Yeah, like I understand people's arguing like the return on the WWE's investment, but it's not your investment. You didn't throw your money into it. So why are you concerned with their return on their investment? You should you should be concerned with the product as you're seeing it, and from that account, like, he's been awesome. But I do think it's interesting, like you're talking about the playing up the free agency stuff, because I feel like that is in a way baby facing him, because basically he's playing up the free agency, but the free agency is against like the authority, because the authority are like the power team. So it's in a way like baby facing. So I think that's real interesting. I don't know. I think he's not coming out like a true blue hill, like
right.
all this.
Well, except whenever he says, I'm going to fuck up Roman Reigns.
Well, see, the thing about that is he's not cheating. He's not underhanded. He's won all his matches by fucking just winning his matches. He hasn't done anything dastardly. He hasn't done anything to cheat. He talks a little shit, but he fucking backs up. That's why he's so like over as a babyface. Like, they're trying to present these baby faces in these like shoddy ways, and people just want to cheer for Lesnar because he's just an ass kicker. He's just a guy who's gonna say a couple of words and then like kick some ass.
Fuck you up.
So
Pretty
I don't
much.
know. I mean, he's by far the best presented guy in the company.
Definitely. So very good stuff from Brock Lesnar. After that, we got to see Big Show beat down Eric Rowan for whatever reason. They're both in the Battle Royal, so there you go. That's all the reason you need.
Yep.
Larry Zbyszko is the next inductee for the WWE Hall of Fame. Okay, cool deal. Nothing really to add from it. After that, they sort of did a mock Battle Royal with about 10, 12, 15 guys in there. Mark Henry ended up winning that. So,
Well, Kane did a promo first, right?
yeah, I can't remember exactly what he said, though.
Me either.
Basically talking about how he's going to win the Battle Royal, and Axelmania was running wild there until he was eliminated by Mark Henry. So, I don't know. Front runners, we're not making official predictions this week. That'll come for next week. But front runner for Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Royal for WrestleMania. Who do you got?
I still haven't seen enough. I still need another week to even make the call.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything to indicate they have a favorite. Or I'm sure they know who it's going to be, but they haven't indicated a favorite like on the show.
You think it might be a returning Sheamus?
I think that's a good possibility, but then I also heard that they were going to hold him back until Raw the night after. So I don't know.
Interesting. How about you, Tyler? Any favorites running in your mind?
Henry or Sheamus.
Okay.
I mean, I could see like a returning Sheamus getting it if he was not going to be held off. I could see Mizdow getting it by eliminating the Miz, and that'd be the big moment there. Yeah. I guess right now I'm between Sheamus and Mizdow, but I don't know. They could announce someone else. I could be like, oh yeah, I could see that guy getting it. I don't know yet.
I picked so-and-so.
Yeah, I pick insert name. So yeah, there you go. I picked the one person who gets an entrance for this matchup. Because if you remember last year, they did, they had like 28 of the guys in the ring, and then Big Show and Sheamus came out, even though Cesaro ended up winning. But they gave at least 2 entrances for that. But after that, we got to see Paul Heyman come out, deliver a promo, talk about the match. Roman Reigns interrupts him, saying, hey, man, I'm going to talk, Heyman. Hey, Heyman. So he decided he was going to cut a promo to Brock Lesnar. I thought he did a fair enough job. It wasn't like an outstanding promo, but it wasn't terrible either.
It's better than your average Roman Reigns promo.
Yeah. So, he was a little more serious, wasn't cutting jokes or anything like that.
I thought he was going to
trying to be all cool.
Paul Heyman.
Yeah, but after that, Heyman was approached backstage, and he did say that Brock Lesnar will be on Raw next week, so there's something for you to look forward to. After that, we got a 3-on-3 tag match between Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose going up against Stardust, Wade Barrett, and Luke Harper with R-Truth on commentary, and he had the Intercontinental title strapped to his back or attached to his coat, whatever it was. And I thought this was a pretty solid matchup. Daniel Bryan, Ziggler, and Ambrose ended up getting the win. And then there was the fallout, everyone hitting finishers on one another, and Barrett ends up walking away with his title. So what do you think about the matchup?
It was fine.
Yeah. Nothing really? How about you, Tyler? Same?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, it's just more build to the Intercontinental ladder match for WrestleMania. We got to hear from Bray Wyatt, who wants to be the new face of Fear. I don't have this big feel for WrestleMania. It's just, I think I saw, a meme online that was like, WrestleMania, it's going to be the 4th greatest Raw of the year or something like that, and that's kind of how it feels. It feels like it's just going to be just another pay-per-view, except it's going to be at a huge venue,
It's not going to be just a pay-per-view, sir, because we're going to have bets going.
Yeah, we will be having bets going, and it's going to be some awesome food and stuff like that, but it's just, this time last year, we were pumped and excited. Yeah, we were going to the event, but that's a different story. Like, years past, we've been excited about WrestleMania, and I'm just not. I'm not pumped about it.
Yeah, man. I for the first time in forever, I don't feel like eager, or I don't feel a lot of anticipation, or I don't expect a great show. Usually I expect a great show. Now, whether I am disappointed or not, that's always up for grabs once the show starts. But I always anticipate a good show.
Mm-hmm.
This year, not so much. I don't know. Maybe it has a lot to do with the way they're presenting these live events now that they're not pay-per-views, and they're not, I guess, buy rates aren't much of the business anymore, so they're not necessarily worried about buy rates. They just want like subscriptions to the network. So they feel like advertisements for the, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird.
Yeah. How about you, Tyler? Does it feel like WrestleMania?
No, it does not. There's probably about like 1 or 2 I'm like kind of looking forward to, but it doesn't have the feel to it.
It doesn't have that big time
It
feel.
would suck if it was like this WrestleMania was like the Dallas one,
Yeah. Like, oh man, we're going to that one.
Yeah, I'm glad that this WrestleMania is the one that's booked for Cali, and then we get another chance next year to.
Yeah.
Because I'm for sure gonna go to Dallas, but I just hope that it's better.
Yeah.
Better booked.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. But the final moment, segment, whatever, it was supposed to be Rollins versus Orton, but throughout the night, the Authority was losing their faith in Rollins and bailing on him, and J&J Security quit, even though Jamie Noble was the secret weapon all along. Big Show and Kane weren't there in his corner. The Authority saying, well, you made your bed, now it's time to sleep in it, and whatever. But, it was all one big ruse. And
he's like,
Orton,
I got you, Orton.
Yeah,
dumbass.
It took you 4 months to come up with your plan. It only took me 3 hours to say, hey, let's get this guy. So let's get this guy. And the Authority surrounds the ring. Lights go out. We hear, ah! And the lights come back on.
I'm pretty sure we didn't hear that.
Ah!
Yeah, we did. They actually played on the thing, huh?
Yeah, they did.
Not exactly that, but
Well, maybe a little higher pitched, but yeah.
I like your impression.
Squawk. So
That's what.
the light.
Then you do it, Amber.
I can't do it. I cannot do
do your
it.
best. Come on. Do it. Wow, not even the right animal.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So
Got confused.
that was a cat. So so the lights come back on, and it's Sting. Oh my God! And Sting has a baseball bat, and he's attacking the Authority.
Orton has a
and
chair.
Orton has a chair, and he's attacking the Authority, and he runs the Authority off, and that's how we end Raw.
RKO out of nowhere.
And then they say, well, tune into the WWE Network for some exclusive content. We're going to hear from Sting himself. And it was literally 2 or 3 sentences.
Yeah, pretty much. That was his really legit first time to speak.
Yeah. His first time to speak wasn't on Raw. It was on the after Raw that went off the air like 5 minutes after Raw.
Well, that makes sense from a business standpoint of them trying to drive people to the network.
Sting, I know you're new around here, but I just want to let you know I don't need help. But saying that was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. It feels good. Feels good to be here. I've been trying to get here for a long time.
Took the bus.
Have you? Have you really been trying? Or have you just been declining?
I don't know where I was for all those years. I can't tell you.
I feel like y'all hating on this a little bit.
Nah.
Don't get me wrong. The whole I saw the whole like we're fake breaking up for the night coming the whole time. I knew they were going to come down to the end, but I was sort of into it when the lights went out and Sting was in the ring with Orton. I was like, I got up for it. I
actually didn't. I was just like, I don't know.
I was into it. I'm not gonna sit here and lie in front for all the listeners that I was into.
I'm not lying.
No. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying I'm not gonna sit here and like pretend to be like negative. I wasn't.
Right.
So I'm just gonna.
I liked it too.
Yeah, I was just like, probably the best thing that happened all night, which is not saying a lot, but
yeah.
I like the part when the lights came on, whatever, and Orton's looking like, whoa.
Oh, hey Sting, what'd it do?
Sup, dude?
Yeah.
Sup.
Then Sting was all like, meow. Meows again.
That's right. So yeah, I mean,
now listen.
That's pretty much how they close out Raw. So,
how much more would you like Sting if they replaced like the squaws with meows?
That would be so fucking cool. Meow meow. And he has like whiskers, like or something. I don't know.
Like kiss.
So instead of like the crow get up that he had, just like go like full on kiss and have the whiskers.
Sure, why not?
I'm just kidding. That would be stupid as hell.
Then one time
that would be hilarious.
He can come out and have a giant star over one of his eyes.
I don't like kiss.
Aw. You don't want to rock and roll all night and party every day?
It took me 14 years to get here. Now I'm gonna fuck shit up.
Yeah.
Fuck. With my baseball bat.
So that's how we closed out Raw. Interesting stuff.
You're listening to a special interview segment for the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com.
Okay, folks, joining us on the show this week, he is the current PWG and FIP champion and also ROH Triple Crown champion and Mr. ROH, Roderick Strong. Roderick, welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Hi, thank you for your time. For all the information on Roderick Strong, you can follow him at Roderick Strong on Twitter. Also go to facebook.com/official Roderick Strong. So welcome to the show.
And on Instagram. Instagram as well. At Roderick Strong.
Definitely want to hit that pro wrestling tees /Roderick Strong.
Strong. Yeah, exactly.
So we're having you on today to sort of just discuss your career, get some of the listeners in our area to get to know you a little bit, because Ring of Honor is available here in Beaumont on Saturdays at 1 p.m. on KFDM with a replay at 11:05 p.m. and also a replay on KBTV at 10 p.m. And if you're listening outside of the area, just go to rohwrestling.com to find the listings in your area. So first question, how does it feel knowing that you are only one of two men who are on the list of the ROH Triple Crown champion list?
You know, it's a pretty surreal feeling. When you want to become a wrestler, you want to do something of importance, and you never know exactly what it is. You know, you want to leave your stamp somewhere, and obviously I don't feel like my career is over at all. It's far from over, but to know already in the amount of time that I've been in this business, I've been able to do something and make history in a company that has changed the platform of professional wrestling, I feel.
Absolutely. And like you said, still many years left in your career. Where do you see your career headed in the next 5 to 10 years? And I guess the secondary question would be, what would your plans be after you choose to retire from the ring?
I mean, obviously with wrestling, it's hard to really predict a future, down the road, but obviously still doing what I'm doing, probably, and hopefully at a higher level, just continuously improving in every aspect of my job and in life. And post wrestling, I want to be a strength and conditioning coach. Actually, that's something that is super important to me and kind of always been a goal. So, some kind of athletics program, something like that.
Roddy, you're definitely a vet of the indie scene, a guy who's looked at, well respected. I know that you just wrestled Trevor Lee a couple of weekends ago for PWG. You're defending your title. I think a lot of people, like in maybe like 2013, would argue that ACH was sort of a breakout guy. And maybe like 2014, a lot of people would say like Biff Busick is like a breakout guy for that year. And I think probably a lot of people this year would argue that Trevor Lee is a guy who's looking to be a breakout guy. And by that, I just mean they're sort of breaking out of their home scene and to a more nationally known level. And so the vet that you are, the well-respected guy that you are, when you look at a guy like Trevor Lee, do you see he's poised to take that kind of a position? Does he have it, or what's your thoughts on Trevor Lee?
I mean, he started around wrestling young, just like I did. So, and being in the ring with him finally, because you hear a lot about people, but it's hard to judge. Everyone has their opinion, and I like to be in the ring with him, and before I ever make a statement or have an opinion about them. I think Trevor's one of those young guys, but old guy in that sense, because he has been around wrestling, for quite a bit longer than people seem to realize. And I think with that comes a different maturity, and that's something that's separating him from the other guys, I feel, at this point. And that's why he's one step ahead. He understands little things that a lot of the guys don't really get, and I think he's going to have a fantastic, 2015 and beyond. Very
cool. I know you got a big reunion coming up with, you're going to be teaming over WrestleMania weekend shows for WWN Live. You're going to be teaming with, reuniting with Austin Aries to sort of reform Generation Next. So what are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to re-teaming with Austin? And I guess you guys are wrestling Ricochet and Uhaa Nation. That's been announced. So what are your thoughts on that whole deal, the reuniting and the upcoming match?
Of course, man. It's going to be extremely special. Me and Aries did some very special stuff in Ring of Honor, and through that we became really good friends. So it's going to be an exciting time for us. I feel like both of us are, at the top of our game right now. So we're going to bring the best version of us that we've ever been able to bring, to the table. And we both love tag wrestling, and we're facing two amazing athletes. So, I think it's something that's going to be extremely special, and the people better tune in. Either, show up live or on iPay-per-view. Another huge set of shows you got coming up. I know you're, Ring of Honor is going to be having their co-promoted shows with New Japan coming up in May. And I know last year when you were still in the decade, when you were still teaming with BJ Whitmer, you guys teamed up and wrestled Gato and Jado. This year, if it was up to you, I'd love to know, ideally, your singles match with a New Japan talent, like who you want one-on-one in the ring. Well, I mean, I've said it quite a few times, and I'll continue to say it. And I'm not usually one of those guys that, calls out somebody and says they want to wrestle them, because I feel if promoters and the people want to see it, it's going to happen. I've never once asked for a match that I've been put in. So, but I say Nakamura. I think he's very, the physicality and the showmanship that he brings is quite the matchup for me. And I like guys like that. The more intense, the better, and if Okada comes, he's another guy. And Tanahashi, if he comes, he's another guy. I got the opportunity to wrestle him when I was with TNA, and obviously both of us are a million times better than we were when we wrestled our Explosion match. So, I just kind of like to get my hands on any of them. I feel my style is a good matchup for any of them. You're speaking a little bit about physicality, and you're known for a lot of things. You're known as the Messiah, the backbreaker. You're also known as an extremely hard, chop guy. So you don't have to out anybody or name any names, but has anyone ever asked you, hey, man, just lay off the chops, please? It's happened here or there. But, or try not to do as many. But, and it's hard when a lot of that is second nature, and it's part of your offense, and it's just tough. Sometimes you can't help what you do. Right.
we sort of mentioned the Decade a little while ago, and you're not with the Decade anymore. You're feuding with BJ Whitmer.
No, that is over.
Well,
so I'm no longer doing that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I wasn't 100% sure if the 13th anniversary show, if that was the blow-off match or what. So sorry about that.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. But yeah.
But when you were with the Decade, was there any part of that angle and that gimmick that was like personal for you, in the sense that the Decade sort of built on the foundation of fans getting real excited when guys move on to places like WWE, or even if fans getting excited when guys are coming back from places, you guys being guys that have been there like, you know, constantly through the years, like you said, you know, for a decade. Is there any part of that was like personal for you, maybe feeling underappreciated or undervalued at all?
I mean to a point, but I feel like with anything, if you're anywhere for a long period of time, I think people tend to forget, not necessarily, you know, not exactly what you've done, because I don't want to live on old merits, but exactly what you're doing, and if you're good at your job. So a little bit, but for me, it was more motivation when people would come back, because I really do feel like I am the measuring stick of Ring of Honor, and I pride myself on being able to be the best in-ring performer that I possibly can be, and if those guys come back, when I face them, it's basically me challenging them. I understand, you know, are they good? Can they hang? Are they on the level to be the top guy that people want them to be here? So it becomes personal in the sense of it becomes a challenge for me, you know, to prove to people and myself, you know?
Right.
Very cool. And speaking on some of the guys who, you know, are coming back to Ring of Honor, such as your AJ Styles and Samoa Joe, you spent some time in TNA. What are your thoughts on the direction that they've taken recently? I mean, it seems sort of like Ring of Honor has become bigger in TNA now that guys like Alberto El Patron, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe are reappearing. It's, you know, ROH is getting that bigger feel now.
You know, I think they did I think TNA has done what is best for them, for growth, you know, for one, just to level out, and two, possible growth in the future. And it seems like Destination America is super behind them. I'm not sure exactly who owns the station, but, you know, they promote it very heavily, and that's good to see. I mean, I have friends there, and I have guys there that I really enjoy watching perform. So, you know, I hope, you know, Ring of Honor rises as high as we possibly can, and because it's fun competing and seeing who has the better product and pushing each other, you know, because like I was saying, we do have, you know, friends that work there. So it's like, you know, who can tear it up this week, you know, so on and so forth. So I hope the best for them. Yeah, I mean, it's the best. It's great for the fans, and it's just great for my friends.
Very cool. There seems to be a recent surge of popularity of wrestling in America with new promotions over the last year, like Lucha Underground, Global Force Wrestling, even New Japan from their pay-per-view in January got a lot of people buzzing. So what are your thoughts on these promotions?
Well, I don't think you can call Global Force a promotion, but
I'll agree with
Lucha
that.
Underground, you know, you have to actually run a show, and everyone's kind of said that. And, you know, I hope it does get off the ground. Mm-hmm. And I hope they do run shows, because we were saying it's good for professional wrestling to have the best quality, you know, wrestling that they can have out there. You know, and I've watched Lucha Underground quite a few times, and I enjoyed it. It's obviously a different product, and it has its own niche, and that's good. That's good. It, you know, it kind of gets tedious and repetitive with everyone trying to be, you know, on the level of WWE when they come out. And that's one thing I think Ring of Honor's done well with is keeping itself separate and continuously just trying to improve and be the best at what they do. So I think it's exciting time for wrestling fans and wrestlers. I mean, I'm a huge wrestling fan myself, so the more wrestling, the better for me.
I feel it feels like we're seeing a shift, maybe in pro wrestling, as far as like the free agent market seems to be like booming, as far as guys, you know, finding alternatives to WWE as places they will make like good livings. And I mean, they could be. I mean, I hear guys like the Young Bucks saying, "Hey, we don't sign contracts anywhere," and they could be kayfabing us. Like, I don't know, we're just fans doing a wrestling show. So I don't know the legitimacy of if guys like the Young Bucks have a contract or not. But it almost feels like the business is maybe shifting to a sort of guys not signing as many contracts or maybe more freelance stuff. And I know sort of over the past 5 to 7 years, like it's been like a big thing with independent guys having contracts. And I understand the position of someone like Ring of Honor saying, hey, if you want to see Roderick Strong, you got to come to Ring of Honor to see Roderick Strong. So that's why they would put you guys under contracts. But how do you see that for yourself? And do you think that's good for the business to get away from that? Or how do you see that progressing?
Yeah, to me, contracts are important, but they're situationally important. If you have a young guy that is just trying to become better at what he's doing, no, you don't put him in a position where that one promotion obviously is where he has to work, unless you're the WWE, because then you have the developmental system and they get to do work in the system. But if you're not there, then why would you do that? And I think Ring of Honor is getting to the point where they need to make sure that their guys are as healthy as possible and are unique. Because for years, a lot of us have traveled the roads and we've done all the independence that we can, and people want to see you. So the bigger the star you are in Ring of Honor, the more the people are going to come and see you. So I think for certain people, yes, it's good, but I think for others, it's good that contracts are around.
Being in Ring of Honor for as long as you have you sort of found yourself being a mentor to some of the up and coming talent? Is there anyone in particular like that you talk to behind the curtain, sort of giving advice or taking under your wing, so to speak?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like one person. I mean, there's been people before that I have, and I mean, in wrestling or with anything, you end up having a group of people or your small group of friends that. That's what you guys do is you talk wrestling. And that's something that I've always been one to, appreciate when people have came and they've given me their time and constructive criticism to try to make me better. To me, it kind of blows my mind that, someone actually wanted to do that. So I've always tried to do that as well. For the most part, that is something I've always tried to do, help as much as I possibly can, just because I do want, wrestlers to be better. And I understand it's easier for to get a critique from someone that's watching it than it is to go back and watch the tape and blah blah blah. Obviously, people are going to do that to try to get better, but try to influence people as much as I can and be as honest as I possibly can when it comes to critiquing people.
It's sort of been rumored lately, and obviously I don't know the specifics of it, but it's sort of been rumored that Sinclair is like really happy with where Ring of Honor is, and they're maybe not necessarily looking to, because of how happy they are with it, they're not necessarily looking to sink a ton more money into that. I just wondered, like, from a guy who's in that locker room so much, and you guys go out there, put your bodies on the line. You guys are killing yourself to have good matches every night out. Is it hard to stay motivated hearing something like that, or how do you interpret that?
Oh, that's false. First off, that report is not true whatsoever. You have to look at it like this. They're a business and they want to make money, right? So
right.
If something is continuously getting better, why wouldn't you invest in it to keep it getting better? I
right.
think that's kind of funny that people are like, they don't want it to grow. I mean, obviously, there's certain things that they could do better to help improve, awareness of the product, to get the name out there. But, I mean, I think for the most part, just hearing stuff like that's funnier than anything to me. And it seems like they do want it to grow. They, in certain areas it has gotten a lot better when it comes from the production side. And I think that's something that's slowly going to continue to improve over time. But I don't know. It doesn't. I just think that's funny. Those kind of reports make me laugh because they are investing more money in the company. They are investing more money in the wrestlers. It's just, I guess it's not as apparent to everybody.
You were recently on the Best Friends with Chuck and Trent. Did The Rock ever respond back to you?
He did not. That son of a bitch. I know. I understand he's got a lot of followers, but come on.
Speaking of Best Friends isn't like a necessarily like a traditional shoot interview, but it is in a sense like a shoot interview. And I know you've done other shoot interviews with like High Spots and stuff like that. And I know you've probably done like a litany of podcasts and radio shows. I know you did Art of Wrestling. Obviously, you're doing our radio show. Recently, like the kayfabe commentary's owner said that he thought that podcasts and radio shows were hurting the shoot interview business. How do you feel about that as a guy who's done both? Do you think there's room for both, or do you think they're a direct competition?
I would assume they're very similar. It's just the way you go about it. I mean, podcasts are obviously a lot more casual. And that's the thing with the Best Friend thing. It's a lot more casual, just, talking. But shoot interviews, for the most part, tend to come off more as drilling than anything, or just straight questions. Right? So I don't know. I guess it's personal preference, because some people might, really have a lot of shit to unload, and they're very emotional. And shoot interviews are probably a better platform for that. And then for not as much dirt, I would say, and not as aggressive of a platform would be a podcast. I don't know. They vary a little bit to me with intention.
Out of all the matches that you've had, for those who might not have seen Ring of Honor over the past few years, if there was one match that you would say, this is probably my all-time favorite of yours, what would you suggest for the fans out there to go and watch?
I'd say me versus James Gibson, his last match.
Very cool stuff.
In Ring of Honor.
We always ask about, stories on the road. You hear about the guys that travel together, they consider themselves road wives and stuff like that. Who is your road wife when you travel, and do you have any stories that you could share with us?
It used to be Eddie Edwards and Adam Cole, but now that Eddie is not with Ring of Honor anymore, it is Adam Cole. That's who I would consider my road wife. So,
Dojo Bros?
And,
Dojo Bros.
Yeah, exactly. That was a real thing. We were really friends like that. And road stories, I'm trying to think of one that would be appropriate. Oh, man. I mean, the biggest thing for me is we're just all goofy, so we all kind of have a very similar personality, but different in certain ways. Adam's more of the serious guy out of the group, and I mean, I'm just off my fucking rocker. and Eddie's a good mix. Eddie's a good mix of both. I mean, there's a ton of stories of going out and just having fun. Most of the best times come when we just plan random dude trips and go have some fun.
This is sort of random and off topic. Well, not off topic, but this is sort of out there. It's just something I gotta ask. How did you get cast as a frat boy on Hulk Hogan's Micro Championship Wrestling? How did that whole thing come about?
Cabana got a hold of me, and Kevin Kleinrock was helping with that. And they were filming at Joe Gomez's house, which was literally 3 minutes away from where I lived at the time. And they just asked me if I knew any fraternity people or anything. So I did. I got them in touch with some people, and then I ended up going just to go. Obviously, it was right near my house. And they're like, "Hey, you want to be a part of it? You want to be ahead of this?" And I was like, "Sure, why not?" I mean, I didn't know exactly what it was going to be, but that's it. Just friend of a friend, and they needed somebody to do something, so I just did it. It was one of those things that I found pretty interesting because they ended up airing it so much later than when they filmed it. It just happened to be around the time that I was Ring of Honor World Champion. It was ridiculous.
I remember watching it and you're like, holy crap, that's Roderick Strong. What is he do? Why is he a frat boy?
Yeah. Yeah, right. Well, I accepted it too to just feed into that label that everyone gives me, because I look a certain way. It's like, oh, the guy's definitely a frat boy. He drinks beer. Unbelievable.
Very cool. Well, Mr. Roderick Strong, it has certainly been a pleasure. We certainly appreciate your time for coming on the show. For all information, go to Twitter at Roderick Strong, Instagram at Roderick Strong. You can go Facebook.com/official Roderick Strong.
Pro Wrestling T/Roderick Strong. Come on, man. Don't leave the shirts.
Absolutely. Got to make sure you hit them all. So, Roderick Strong, it has certainly been a pleasure. We thank you for your time.
Thanks a lot, Roddy.
Thanks, guys. That was fun.
Have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Total Divas time.
We're doing Total Divas? I thought we end on Total Divas.
I don't know. What do you want to do? What you want to do?
Wouldn't it make sense to go to...
Okay, Total Divas.
Oh, okay, well, let's play Inside Baseball on the show as it's happening. Let's work out on the show how the show should work. Does it make more sense to keep all the WWE stuff together, even if it's Total Divas? Or should we go wrestling with like the Lucha Underground talking whatever, and then go to Total Divas?
I don't really care. We can do wrestling, then end with Total Divas.
I'm so glad
the season finale.
I'm so glad.
The finale.
I'm so glad you guys don't give a fuck how our show comes across.
Yep.
But he probably already played the job. Let's just do Total Divas. Just do it. Fuck.
Up to y'all. It's your segment.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. What do you want to do? Just fucking start talking about something, and I'll chime in if I can.
Well, let's talk. Oh, Total Divas or Lucha?
It don't matter. Just start talking about something.
Okay, let's talk about Lucha.
Okay. Let's talk about Lucha Underground then. Yeah. Okay, so this is our first time talking about it on the show. You've been seeing it for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah, and I'm still getting the names down.
There you go,
like
Bad Pants. There you go, Bad Pants. First of all, before we get into the specifics of this week's show, overall feel it's stylistically very different, tonally very different. You've been catching it for a couple weeks now. Overall, what are your feelings on?
I like it. I love the presentation. Like, I love the clips. Like,
the backstories.
Like, I love backstories.
Oh,
I love
the Conan. God damn, I can't talk. The Conan vignette where he's getting the new stick. Where he's like crafting it and he's like
smashing the glass and stuff like that.
And all those dudes are like lined up and he's just like got the little smile.
Yeah.
Have you seen the one for Cage where he's just like dudes are just like smashing shit in his head and he's not flinching and stuff?
No, I haven't seen that one.
You should Google that one.
I just like all the stuff. Like I like the Dario Cueto? Dario Cueto. I like them going to their office and stuff like that, and like they're like talking and like. It just has a cool ass feel to it. Yeah.
He does the coke nose thing like every time.
You want to compete in my temple? It's like I said, a cool ass feel to it, and I enjoy it like all the time.
There's definitely it's definitely sort of doing its own thing in presentation as far as like there's like supernatural undertones to guys like Mil Masker.
Yes, I like that. That is so cool and stuff. And I like how. And I haven't seen it. I mean, I know other organizations have this, but I like intergender matches, stuff like that. Because you don't see it in certain organizations.
Well, what do you think about like stylistically the presentation, and as far as the including the more like how Mil Maskers they sort of include a little bit more supernatural?
I like it because I remember seeing stuff like that when I was younger, and you don't see like that much. So I mean, I'm fine with it. I enjoy it a lot.
What about you, Daniel?
I like it. At first I was like, God, this is so cheesy. Watching it, I'm like, God, it's so hokey, it's so cheesy, I can't get into it. But I watched a few more episodes, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get into this, and I'm digging what Matt Stryker is doing. I'm still a little bit iffy on Vampiro.
You love Vampiro.
He's just so strange. His commentary is so strange. It's so off the wall. But yeah,
he cracks me up. Oh, sorry to interrupt you. I like it when like welcome to Lucha, and they're saying it, and like he does that, and like if Vampiro does like the weirdest thing, like he's grabbing his throat or doing like some weird ass shit, and I'm like,
what is he doing?
It cracks me up.
But yeah, no, I'm digging the show. I'm not catching it as much as I'd like to, even though I have it on DVR. But yeah, I'm liking it.
I know you saw this week, so that's why.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, they're definitely trying to do their own thing. They're definitely trying to present things differently. And I think it's refreshing. It's like much like NXT is a different presentation in 1 hour. This is even a different presentation in just an hour. It's like that one fucking hour of like, even if the wrestling can sometimes in some matches be lackluster or just sort of there, the different presentation and the fact that it's just an hour, it's like it doesn't bother you. And
no,
these people aren't overexposed like the way the guys in WWE are overexposed.
I like the storytelling. I like I know like it's on the El Rey network and it's luchador stuff. I like how there's like, you know, people who are talking English. There's people who are talking like, you know, Spanish. They have the translator and stuff like that. It's cool.
Yeah, I mean, if the guys can't speak English, they promo in Spanish and they subtitle it, which I think is good. It feels authentic.
Even the cheesy part, like when you first come in or whatever, like sometimes it feels like it has like you hear like Tejano music or whatever.
They have a house band every week. I think it's fucking cool. I think
that's cool. Yeah.
I think it's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just helps the overall vibe, like the presentation. Yeah. Well, I guess we do it as want to get into some more specifics. I guess this week we kicked off with Argenis versus Pentagon Jr. Pentagon Jr. not as overtly supernatural, but they're playing up the whole like his master.
So who's his master?
Well, it hasn't been revealed.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Keep watching, asshole.
Tune in and find out.
Yeah, we don't know, but it's sort of like a more like sinister, dark, like ominous thing, sort of like the Mil Masker stuff. Not as we don't know what it is yet, but it's definitely like more outside of the box sort of presentation stuff for him. He's just sort of like racking up victories, breaking dudes' arms, and I don't know. I thought it was a fun little match. I mean, it was cool. Like Pentagon was vicious and broke another dude's arm.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I highly
arms,
enjoyed that and stuff.
Did you guys catch the little thing about Argenis being Mystic's brother or whatever? Like Sin Cara's brother. Like Argenis, that dude's like brothers with Mystic's, who was the original Sin Cara or whatever.
I noticed a little tidbit that has really nothing to do with like the show itself, but they were showing like clips of the fans. It looked like there was this guy that I don't know if you've seen Hot Tub Time Machine.
He's also the guy from Kick-Ass. He's like the friend in Kick-Ass.
He looked like he was in the audience.
Yeah, it was him.
That was him for sure? Okay.
They show people in the audience like I think on this same week they showed
Shaq Gaspard too, right?
I don't know if that was this week. I know that this week they also showed Josh Barnett, who's a wrestler / MMA fighter / currently commentating on the New Japan on Access stuff. I think they even pointed that out.
Yeah, they said Matt Stryker did a shout out to him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then in between that and the next match, they had like different promos and different things or something. Was there one where like there's two different guys in like in vehicles?
Well, the truck stuff was King Cuerno like sort of arriving to the arena. It was just sort of giving you like the feel of him driving up. He's got that
video is pretty cool.
It's just like flavor. It's like it's like letting you like get the feel of this guy without him like saying or doing anything. It's just like he's a hunter. He's got this pimp old truck that he drives around in. It's just fucking cool. It's just like atmospheric. Yeah. You know, it's like
the different scenes that may get confused at different times or whatever. But I'm just gonna say what I remember or whatever. Like I like the what it was. See if I get the names right. Phoenix, right? Is that his name?
You talking about the girl who's the guys with Katrina and Mil Mascaris like paired off.
He was. I love that. It was so cool. He was sitting on the bench and like she was there, but she was not supposed to be there. It was like in his head and stuff, kind of like hypnotizing him and stuff like that. Like
she's sort of like playing both sides. She's sort of playing Mil and playing Phoenix.
But like the film, like she was not there. She was not supposed to be there, but she was because it was like in their head. Like
I think that's open to interpretation because I feel like she just sort of like disappears as guys turn around like really fast. Like I think
she's Batman.
Yeah, I think it's that kind of a thing. I think she was actually there. I don't think it was in his head, but it's so stylish that you could probably be interpreted however you want it to be. But I think she was supposed to be there. She just does that whole thing where you look away and then you look back and she's gone type thing, you know. But
So that's what that feels like.
yeah, Phoenix. But you're right about Phoenix. I guess they say Phoenix, but like that's a whole like I don't want to get. We're stupid like Southeast Texan Americans, so like
Hey, y'all come on down to Texas.
so we're gonna say Phoenix. We're gonna say Phoenix probably by default, but it may be Phoenix. But like I know like even Latino people were giving Striker shit for saying Blue Demon Jr. instead of like just Blue Demon. They're like, just say Blue Demon, you fucking stupid American. So
Mark.
yeah, but I don't know like I don't know if we should like try and say like Phoenix or Phoenix.
Just say Phoenix.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
we're gonna say Phoenix.
Mark.
And then the next match I really enjoyed. It was Son of Havoc was the ref, and who was the
Angelico,
and
Elise.
Eva Elise and stuff like that. That stuff
That was
between
that
all of
weird
them is
commentary.
hilarious and stuff like that. But I like the intergender matches and stuff like that though. And what was it? There's like
You know who Son of Havoc is, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Someone whom we've met.
Yeah, that cracks me up and stuff. But I know I like the match.
See, I didn't like this because they're sort of. I like that they're taking a stab at the intergender thing, but if you're gonna do intergender, the way they presented this match sort of undermines the whole intergender thing. It's like if you're gonna do intergender, first of all, Stryker says every time they do intergender, Stryker says we're not gonna hit you over the head with like the intergender thing, but by saying that every time there's an intergender match, you are hitting us over the head with the intergender thing. So be a little bit more subtle about it. But I have no problem with intergender matches. But if you're going to champion intergender wrestling, like, don't undermine it by doing this. Like, it's fine for Angelico to not take Evil seriously if that's the story you're going to tell, but she should beat him legitimately if that's just if the story you're telling is the intergender is just another wrestling match between two competitors, then the story like I don't even know if he's supposed to be a heel, but he's taking her lightly as a woman. So if you're trying to do the intergender thing, then his taking her lightly as a woman should cost him the match of her own accord. Like, she should be able to beat him legitimately without Son of Havoc. It makes sense for Son of Havoc to cheat because that's his partner. Like, even if it wasn't his girlfriend and even if it wasn't his woman, even if it wasn't his girlfriend and even if it wasn't a woman, even if it was just like his tag team partner that was a man, he would still be cheating to help his tag team partner as a man. So that makes sense in context. But Angelico should have lost on his own accord and not have to have been resulted to Son of Havoc like fast counting because he was tired of seeing him shove his girlfriend's like vagina in his face and also beating up on his woman. Like, so I don't mind the intergender, but like if the story is the intergender is fine, then the person who's taking the woman lightly just because she's a woman should lose because of that. Like, that's how the story pays off, right? So I don't like the finish doesn't match the story to me. And I think if you're trying to do intergender, like, this undermines what you're trying to do. It's like, it doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I didn't like it because of that. Not because it's intergender, but because I don't think the story paid off in the way you're supposed to pay it off. And maybe that's the end goal. Maybe that's eventually she beats a woman. But that's the story to me is not. Every time she either loses because she's a woman or she has not won because she's a woman. And like, that doesn't pay off the same way as a guy finally loses. That's like all the way up. She should be like proving herself every time as a competitor and not. The decision shouldn't be one way or the other because she's a woman. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
I didn't like it. But I don't mind that they do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I guess there's only 3 matches. I think the main event was the cage match between Mundo and King Cuerno.
Cage
What'd you think?
match. I enjoyed it. What was it? Like, they really played that, Cuerno is the hunter. He wants Johnny's head and stuff, and like there was times he dominated Johnny, and like it just seemed like it does not matter that one's bigger than the other one, but like, I don't know. Like, I picture in my head, because Cuerno's the king or whatever. He should be he's a bigger guy than Johnny, but he wasn't. I don't know. I don't know why in my head that was like I felt like that was a problem. I don't know.
What do you think of the headdress? The big fucking buck deer or whatever he wears on his head?
I guess it goes with the hunter gimmick and stuff like that. But no, I enjoyed it.
What did you think of match, Daniel?
I enjoyed it. Nothing really sticking out to mind, just because it was so long ago, and I'm getting kind of up there with A-Bear as far as being tired. But yeah, I enjoyed the show. I enjoyed the presentation. I want to catch more of it. I have it set on my DVR, but there's just not enough time for me to be able to knock it out at the moment. But I do try and make sure I'll watch it at least. So I would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the main event was solid. I had some problems with it. I didn't like that. The sort of build up to this was King Cuerno is sort of like stalking Mundo as his prey. Like, he's the hunter he's going after. He's been brought in to take out Mundo.
Hitman for hire. Yeah, so the build up to this is the announcing team is putting over Mundo asked for this match in the cage because he's tired of being fucked with by King Cuerno. So if your babyface asks, that's a logical progression for your babyface to say, hey, fuck this, put us in a cage, we're going to finish this. But then I always have a problem with the psychology of the babyface wanting the cage match or being okay with the cage match and being the first person who tries to get out of the cage before you've sufficiently beaten your guy. I think it's fine to go for an escape if you've really fucking laid into your opponent and you'd be like, fine, I finally fucked this dude up, I'm just going to climb over instead of having to pin him. But he didn't. Before he had like satisfactorily like got his comeuppance on him, he's already trying to climb out of the cage, and that always really bugs me when babyfaces do that. Like, if you want to get close, we're gonna settle this by having me climb over this cage.
Yeah, like that doesn't make sense to me. So I didn't like that.
That'll show you.
I guess they tried to pay it off with the finish where he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna climb out." He's like, "No, wait, no, I'm gonna hit my move from the top rope," and so he just goes back in. But still, first of all, like, don't do it in the first place. Like, I don't like that. It's fine for the heel to try to be like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Also, it was sort of heelish for him to go for the mask, and they put over the importance of the mask in Lucha Underground as a sacred thing. So like, he shouldn't take the shortcut of like trying to hold him up off the cage by holding onto his mask, where he would pull himself back up to get back in the match, because he would have won if the mask wasn't important. He would have just said, "Fuck this, I'll just drop and win."
Right.
So sort of, I didn't like that, but the work itself was solid, but there was like a couple of things psychology wise that I don't think worked for me. Overall, it's a really enjoyable show. It's only an hour.
Just an hour out of your day.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, you should. It's a different presentation. If you're bored with WWE, you should give it a chance.
Yeah, just a lot going on in my world. Unfortunately, I'm not able to catch all the programming that I'd like to.
Oh man, I'm just saying in general to everyone. Like, I'm not saying Daniel. You should. I'm saying like.
Well, I want to watch it so that we can all talk about it on the show.
I don't know if y'all saw this or whatever. I don't know what kind of where y'all cable or whatever you're watching Monday Night Raw, but I was watching it at Daryl's, and I know she has satellite. Whatever company has the Joey, all that stuff. But for the commercials, whatever satellite company has Joey, the Joey, the Hopper.
Oh, Dish. But
the commercials in between Raw, they showed like Lucha Underground.
Huh.
I guess that wasn't for like regular cable.
Not that I saw.
So
what the fuck is the Joey?
The Hopper.
What's the Hopper?
That's Dish. That's the thing that they have. It's called the Hopper.
Their box. Their cable box.
Oh, okay. I'm lost.
Joey. Interesting. So there you go. Lucha Underground. Check it out. El Rey Network. You want to dive into some Ring of Honor?
I didn't watch it.
No?
Well, I don't want to monologue. Unless you saw it, we can talk about it.
I did not.
All
Unfortunately,
right,
I didn't catch it this week.
We could do NXT if either of you saw NXT.
I did not.
I want to say I did, but it's been a while since I got to watch it.
Yeah, plus we're a day late, I guess. So.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go to Total Divas if you guys don't see anything else.
Okay.
And now, Total Divas with Doug and Tyler. Mostly Doug.
No wonder people call you fat on Twitter.
Shut up! I have to say, I feel like a real diva.
You are a grown-ass woman.
Damn, man. Okay.
Damn,
Total
it feels
Diva-
good to be
yeah.
a gangster.
Fucking up printers. Okay, so
A real gangster ass dude like me.
So this is the season finale, and Daniel didn't get to watch it. He just left. Okay, in my opinion, this episode wasn't good as the last episode, but here it goes. Let me think. What would be a good storyline to start on? The Bellas. We had to be honest with you, they're all like, there's really nothing that funny. They all were serious. So, okay, I'll pick one. So, remember how I told you about Paige and that guy last week, whatever?
The fuck buddy thing?
Yeah. So, this episode starts out where she's giddy over him because they talked about her, their problems and they're okay. So, they're talking to, she's very giddy over this guy and stuff like that. And, so she's talking to him, was like, hey, I think we should move in. And
oops, sorry. I was pulling up that cage vignette so you could see it, but go ahead.
So he
close that. I hope it didn't stop recording. I think we're good.
So he was iffy. Then he was like, well, I want you to meet my mom first.
Before we are continue to be fuck buddies?
No. Like they're a thing now.
Oh, they're a thing now.
Yeah.
But he wants her to meet his mom before they're officially a thing?
No. Before she asked him to move in. And
Paige asked this dude to move in?
Yeah. Okay, let me restart. She was
yeah,
giddy.
I was looking for that cage video. Go ahead.
She was giddy. At the beginning of the episode.
What made her change her mind from we're just gonna fuck each other to we might be a thing?
At the end of the last episode, she told her problems after, she griped him out and he understood and said, I'll be with you, or like stay around. And then that gap between that episode and this episode, I don't know what the hell happened. So at the beginning of this episode, she's giddy about him and all that stuff, and they're hanging out. And she asked him to move in with her. And he was kind of iffy. He didn't say nothing, but then he said, I want you to meet my mom first. So they go wherever town that he lives or his parents live, and she goes and meets her mom and sister.
Is her mom attractive?
Wait, his mom. Sorry.
Oh.
His mom. No.
No, his mom's not attractive.
No. So she automatically.
They don't show her mom?
No. So
I'm trying to
automatically.
figure out how old her mom would be. I was like looking up how old she is. I'm sorry, I'm producing on the fly. I'm like, she's 22. All right, let's go ahead.
She apparently, I guess.
You knew that off the cuffs, Danny Ray.
Damn, you've been looking that up. So she jumps on.
You can just read. Never mind.
Okay, so she jumps on his mom like automatically. Instead of saying hi, she like jumps on her.
Like she tries to do all the sexy stuff she does with all the rest of the girls.
Like you're jumping, like hug on her, and like she like wraps her legs around her, and did the same thing to his sister. She was acting all like crazy and stuff like that, and
right.
making jokes and stuff. And the point, or I thought they were gonna say it. She wanted his name is Brad, I think Bradley, to say that they're gonna move in. So she's like dropping hints throughout this whole time, and he's not saying anything to her yet.
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah, he's a good-looking dude.
All right.
And
I don't know why I'm so concerned whether all these people are good-looking or not. I'm gonna try to Google them.
Yeah.
Go ahead, keep going. I'm gonna see if we can get a visual on this.
Bradley, I think.
Bradley, totally.
So throughout this whole episode, she's like saying different things and stuff like that, and he will not say that, not yet. And apparently, she is getting on his nerves. And what was it? It ends up pretty much what happened was they were on the car ride somewhere.
Hey, is this guy?
Yeah. A better shot than
Well,
that.
is this his dick?
That's the brother. That's the brother. That's
Oh,
the dick
that's-
pic.
that's the
That's the
Bell's
brother.
brother.
Yeah.
Oh, we should say for people who are like wondering why you're just now doing this instead of last. We broke up because there was 2 episodes. You broke up the
Yeah.
episodes from last week. Oh, that's nuts.
I know. So so the sister reveals that he's been married before, and she freaks out. It's like, I didn't know anything about that. Why didn't you tell me?
Bradley's been married before.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she freaks out, and she's like, why didn't you tell me? And they're all in the car, and it's like, well, I don't think it was appropriate to tell you now, because they've only been dating for a month, apparently.
Does he have a shaved head? Because in this it looks like he has a shaved head, and this looks like he has
It's
bangs. Half?
Yeah, half, and he has like a comb over, like, yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
and
gotcha.
so they argue and stuff like that. They get back to the house. They're arguing some more, and he gets pissed off. He takes the microphone, throws it, and he walks out and all this stuff. And like, he's pissed at her, but it ends up at the end, you know, he's apologizing, but Paige is pissed off. She's like, I opened up to you and all this stuff, blah blah blah. I don't know if I want to do this anymore, and that's how it ended. So I don't know what's gonna happen to them. And then,
So it's like, who hid their marriage in the first season? Which girl? One of the Bellas, right? Was it Brie or Nikki? One of them hid a marriage, or one
oh,
of
it's
them
what Nikki, because John
okay.
Cena.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it's like they flipped the script. Instead of it being Nikki, it's this dude. It's basically the same angle, but okay, I got you.
Now,
Is this guy again? Look at this guy. Is that Bradley again? Yeah. Okay. I don't know why I'm looking at photos of all these dudes. Continue.
So this one goes to Eva, Marie, and Jonathan. So, I guess Eva Marie has returned to the ring, but also she's doing some side
Does
projects.
Foxy have an on-air boyfriend?
No.
She broke up. Her and Barrett broke up, and that was her only like love interest.
Mm-hmm. That we know. So they're getting this project. Okay, Jonathan's been hired by his wife to be the manager.
Manager of what?
Of
Like
like her
her
stuff.
manager?
Yeah, her manager
Okay.
and all that stuff. And because he has like a business degree, that's so they say.
You doubt? Who are you to doubt Jonathan?
And so they're doing some modeling stuff. They have a lot of stuff lined up for her brand. I don't know exactly what her brand of what is. I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
She is her brand, man.
Yeah, sure. So, and her friends, like, there's like a girl that does her makeup and another guy, or no, girl that does her hair and a guy that does her makeup.
They're on the payroll.
Yeah, they're on the payroll, and like Jonathan's griping at them, like, you need to do it this way. And I was like, why are you doing it this way and all this stuff? We had to get this prepared for this, blah blah blah. And he's just rude to her like the whole time and stuff like that.
Why is
He's
he
like,
being a dick?
because he feels like they're behind schedule and you didn't put the right thing on. You didn't do this, blah 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 blah, stuff like that. And he was like that throughout the whole episode.
But he's a business degree, not a fashion degree, right?
Yeah, but he did act. He act like he's like, oh, you didn't put this makeup on. You need this one, not this one for the shoot and all this stuff. And he was like in the middle of the shoot and stuff, and she was doing poses. He's like, okay, stand up like this. He was like saying, it's like you have to have your chin like this. So he was like telling her how to like model like the whole time.
Do you think he's ever been a model before?
I bet he has.
All right, I'm gonna Google that. Continue.
Okay. Good stuff to Google. So he's just like,
What do you
hammering
think?
her.
Jonathan Total Divas model will get it. I almost Googled Jonathan Total Divas Google. I put Google instead of model.
So what ended up happening is at the end. No. Chrono called her.
Do you know that Janet is not with the company anymore, and that's why you only see Chrono now? Like she stepped down.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So Chrono calls.
I gotta say, first Google hit. Eva Marie confronts husband Jonathan about his attitude. First hit.
That's it. So they Chrono calls and she's like, "Can I take this phone call?" And he goes, "Yes." So and
What?
yeah, he's being controlling. So Chrono's like, hey, how's it going? It's like, yeah. Are you having some pictures taken and stuff like this? And
this is Corona?
Yeah, he's like, what's it for? It's like, oh, this is for my personal page. It's like, okay, can I be frank with you? You need to run the stuff through us and WWE Legal and me before you post and all that stuff. It's like, who posted, who did this stuff? And he goes like, Jonathan, he's my manager. So.
Oh, dude, I just found this dude's Twitter. Jonathan Coyle? Jonathan_Coyle. Go ahead.
So,
it's got 11,000 followers, and I know my man Vinny does not have 11,000 followers. Let me keep going.
Hell, man.
The fuck is this
shit? She goes back after she's done talking to Chrono. She tells Jonathan. Jonathan was like, yeah, we don't need to run anything through Chrono or legal. It's like, and
what, for her own website or her own social media?
Her website and stuff like that.
She sells shit through her website? Because that might be
I don't know all the stuff that she does for her website or what she sells.
Well, look, do a little bit more fucking homework before the segment next time.
My bad. Damn it.
No, I'm just kidding.
So he's griping at her and she's griping. It's like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but this is my job and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I understand that, but you're not going to be at WWE for that long. And he's like, you're going to move on to bigger and better things. But she was like, this is my job. This is my main thing right now. And he wouldn't listen to all that stuff. But later on, when they got back home, they talked and she was saying how rude he was and all that stuff. And it was like, you know, I want you to, I mean, I know you're my manager, but I want you to be my husband. You know, there's times where I can't even, like, in bed, turn around and, like, even talk to you because I'm so angry at you with all this, about all this stuff. And then he was like, you know what? What did he say? He was like,
can I stop whatever you're saying right now to talk to you about something that's way more important than that?
Okay.
I know my man Vinny was at Beast Mode 911 with the 3 for the E. Because we confirmed this before, and I know he had more followers than this. Because I was just I found the Jonathan dude's Twitter account, and I was like, he's got $11,000. Check out my man Vinny's Twitter account. He says 120 followers. I know that's bullshit because he used to have like a couple of thousand at least before the show. Look at this, and it says even like taken by Cameron. It's got shit like he's name checking her in the shit. His tweets. I love my girl. You think she would be like, fuck you, imposter, if it wasn't really him, right?
Yeah, but that's bullshit.
Maybe he changed his Twitter handle.
Yeah, he probably switched to another one.
Let me do some more research on that.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it says one of the first hits was Job, so I wonder what his job is. Hold on. Who is Cameron's boyfriend, Vinny saying? Tell you Star Bus. Oh, yeah, Total of Insanity. That's right, we did. I think we even dropped it on the show whenever he said to. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel better knowing that. I still have a little bit more put off that the Jonathan dude has 11,000 followers and Vinny only has like 2,700, but I don't know how I feel about that. He's not on the show as much as Jonathan, though.
No.
You think that's by design?
I don't know. Well, probably so, since now they have more characters in the show.
Who do you think this kid is with Vinny? Look at this. Is that like his brother? Eric Martinez? Or I think it's just
be a fan.
It's just some dude who's like, hey, yo,
you're Vinny. Let me take a picture.
Oh yeah.
But what ended up happening with Jonathan and Eva Marie, he griped at her and was like, "Oh, you've made me mad and all that stuff." And like, but what did he say?
Can I interrupt this for something more important?
Okay.
Who do you think would win in a fight between Vinny and Jonathan?
Shit.
Daniel, I want you can chime in on this too if you want. I know you're like allergic to talking about women or whatever, but
I want to say Vinny, but I have a feeling it's Jonathan.
You think Jonathan will win a fight? Who do you think will win in a fight, Vinny or Jonathan?
I'll say Vinny.
All right.
He plays on his phone while he says that.
Who thinks more attractive, Vinny or Jonathan?
He says Vinny. Good answer, Daniel.
Who do you think is more attractive, Vinny or Jonathan? I'm gonna say Vinny because I think I think his personality makes him like more attractive. I think his like good personality is like more desirable.
But
to me,
you know the thing throughout like
for me and my manly needs.
This season, you know, or whenever they introduced Jonathan, he was like, you know, not like a douchebag at all.
No, I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him.
No, but what I'm saying, like, this episode made him look like a douchebag. This is the only episode, and like throughout the other episodes, he was the person who really cared about, you know, Eva Marie whenever she did stupid ass shit, you know, kind of like convinced her, hey, you don't need to do this stuff like that. But now he was just seemed like kind of like they just portrayed him as like a asshole manager. But at the end, they kind of like how they end it was they kind of like hinted there was problems between both of them.
Well, it's sort of his turn to be the heel in the angle, but the thing about, because most of the relationship dynamics set up to where like one's a heel like one time and then the other time the other person's the heel, you know, like sometimes it's John fucking up and sometimes it's Nikki fucking up, you know, or sometimes I guess they don't really show Brian fucking up, but sometimes it's Brie fucking up, and then you know the most fucked up dynamic is like Natty and TJ. They're both the heels. They're both like always fucking up. So I don't know.
There was a little tiny part with them in this episode. It was tiny. It was like random. Like she was backstage trying to take a selfie, and she's like, "TJ, can you take a selfie or can you take a picture of me?" So he takes a picture of her, and she's like, "I don't like it. Can you take another one?" And then she like poses the same damn pose, and she's like, "Well, I don't like it." So she takes the phone out of his hand, and she tries to take her own damn selfie, and that was it. Whatever. So the next one is with the Bellas. So Carano hands them, I guess, a contract because they're about to sign another 3-year contract.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how Brie,
because Daniel was like, "Give these women a break in your face."
This
Daniel
Brie wants to have kids, and Nikki wants to have another business venture outside WWE, like maybe something in television. She had like a.
Did you guys see the trailer for John Cena in that Judd Apatow movie?
No.
The one where they were talking about him, like the one where he supposedly showed his ass and they got into the fight about it.
Yeah, we've seen it.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot what else. But no, just that's throughout the whole episode. They were just talking about that. They end up talking to Carano, and they were both telling. This is how it ended the episode. So it was like, and every time they portray Carano, it was like he's all like joking with them. But if they have something important to tell him or whatever about like their WWE career, he kind of gets pissed off and warns them about stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's just how he's portrayed. Like, because they were telling like they don't know if they're gonna sign their contract because Bray's like, I want to have babies, and like, and Nikki was like, well, there's some other business ventures in California, and he was like, are you telling me that the Bellas don't want to be divas anymore? And they're both like, yes.
Did he shake his finger like that?
Well, no. It's in my head. So, and they both said yes, and they both are like looking at Carano, and then it ends.
Like cliffhanger? Whoa, I thought we were going to get a cliffhanger with Cameron and Vinny. There was no cliffhanger for her and
Nah, it was the dad that ruined the remember how the dad ruined the
But they didn't decide if they were actually engaged or not, right? They're just like he was like, I was gonna wait a while or whatever, and then, but the dad's jumped the gun.
Yeah.
But so are they actually engaged or not?
I do not know now.
I mean,
gotta look that
Twitter,
up.
Maybe I'll see if it's engaged.
Well,
I guess it would have happened like months back if it was like,
because this episode they showed, it was the Bellas. It was when
total.
It was when.
What do you think's a better Twitter handle? At Total Vinsanity or Total or at, fuck, I fucked that up. At Total Vinsanity or at Beast Mode 911 with the
Beast Mode 911 is cooler. That's the cooler one. Why did he change that shit?
I mean, I don't know, man. Hashtag Team Vinsanity. We're not hashtagging Team Vinsanity enough. I feel like we let this man down.
Damn it.
I know. That's why Jonathan has 11,000 followers and Vinny only has 2,000.
This is this week's or last week's episode.
Yeah, in addition to like ripping Daniel a new asshole for his poor treatment of the food service industry workers, please weigh in on the Facebook page and let us know who you think would win in a fight between Vinny and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we'll keep going. It's a marathon session. Don't you count me down, motherfucker. I count you down.
Okay.
Girl, bye. Until when? September? When are they coming back?
Shit, I don't know.
Secretly been canceled.
Nope. Because this shit is gold.
So there you go. Thanks for listening, everyone. It's a marathon episode of the WNS podcast. Make sure to submit your questions on our YouTube page, WNS Video, our Facebook page, WNS Podcast. Check us out on WrestlingNewsSource.com, WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. Subscribe to our show on iTunes by searching Wrestling News Source Podcast.
We're also on Twitter.
Twitter.
Did I say Twitter? Well, I mean Stitcher.
Twitter.
Sorry. We're on Stitcher, Beyond Pod, and Player.fm. Just search Wrestling News Source Podcast to find us.
I spaced out. Did you guys pimp the radio show?
Nope.
I did not.
You can listen. Hey, you can listen to us. We have a radio show. You should listen to it if you want. It's you can listen to it on
Sports Hot Radio. Topics will be this week.
SportsRadioBeaumont.com.
Correct.
And there is a Sports Beaumont radio app that you can download for free.
Sports Radio Beaumont.
Sports Radio Beaumont app. You can download that for free and listen to the show Thursdays 5 p.m. Central. You can do that, or if you live in Beaumont, you can just flip on your motherfucking radio. What's the call numbers?
1450, 1510 a.m.
Sweet. So don't press stop or whatever. When
we still haven't set our.
I'm gonna do that, but I want to be like proficient, like right at the end. I want to
you'll hit the stop at the bottom left.
Okay. Yeah, and also follow us on Twitter at WNS Podcast. Follow Vinny at Total of Insanity because Jonathan's beating the brakes off of that.
You don't have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you do. I think it's more important to follow him than us at this point.
Yep.
Follow Daniel at WNS. It's definitely more important than following Daniel at WNS.
You can follow me if you want to. I don't care.
WNS _
I don't do the whole follow thing, so I've got like 230 something followers.
Sure, blame it on that. How about you just blame it on not being as cool as Vinny?
I'm only following like 100 people.
Are you following Vinny?
No, I am not.
Damn. You're fucking up. That's
I only
what you're
follow
doing.
the
You're following
important.
Jonathan, aren't you?
I'll follow with Vinny. You can follow Tyler at Tyler_Abear.
I'm following 100 and I have 262 followers. I'm doing pretty good for myself.
I'm gonna have to get another account just so I can watchdog you on our Twitter account, saying shit like the bells need to be let go or
For good.
whatever.
Permanently.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yep. So there you go. For the podcast crew, I am Daniel Heron.
I'm fucking tired.
A-Bear.
A-Bear.
A bed. Tired A bed.
A-Bed. I'm tired A-Bed.
Abed, like from Community?
Join Abed in the morning.
This is the darkest timeline. I'm Doug, and we will see you all.
And we'll catch you all next week.
I'm Doug, and we will catch you all next week. Like how I just took it back. Bye!